There are many elements to our liturgy that either elevate or lower how we perceive it. And the main thing that will change between parishes in the liturgy is the music. And so today, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm Jake McCarthy. This is Foundations of Faith. Welcome back to Foundations of Faith. I've missed you all very, very much. Hope you're enjoying the new surroundings. I've moved yet again, twice in 1 month, so pray for my mental health. During Mass, there's many times where hymns are sung. The procession, the recession, the offertory during communion. The Mass itself has many Mass parts that can be said or sung. And when they're sung, there's different settings that can be sung. There's the Missa de Angelis, that's Mass of the Angels. There's what we use usually at St. Vincent is the Heritage Mass. St. Luke's, I believe, also generally uses that as well, except they have rounds with the Massive, the Latin thrown in, which is a very beautiful aspect of what we do with the Heritage Mass. And so we at St. Luke's do that very, very well also. Now, the music that we have at Mass is referred to as sacred music. Of course, not every single church you go to has sacred music. It can range from almost like modern day pop with some of the music that we hear, or it can be the solemn Gregorian chant. Many different things. You go to one parish, it's got light shows going on, and you're singing, Reckless Love. Then another parish you go to, and there's incense everywhere, and you're hearing chant. Now, you can probably all guess what my inclinations lean towards. But even in that case, in between those two extremes, there's a lot of in between. We at St. Vincent use sacred music, but it's much more, frankly, much more contemporary, hymnody. But it's not the type of thing that you will hear anywhere else. Why is this important? Why does the music at Mass have to be sacred? Because everything else is. Mass is meant to be sacred. Mass is meant to be otherworldly. Mass is not meant to be everyday run-of-the-mill thing. It's not normal. In fact, it cheapens the accents of the Mass. The accents of something are the things that can change. The substance always stays the same. So, I'm a human being, and since you're watching this video, I presume you are too. However, I have brown hair. Some of you might have, blonde hair. Some might have red hair. But it doesn't mean that we're not humans. My skin is lighter. We have some darker skin. We're still human. Those are accidental to the substance of what we are. The substance is that we're human. The accidents are, what we look like. And so the substance of the Mass is the sacrifice, is the liturgy itself. So the liturgy of the Word and the liturgy of the Eucharist, the heart of it being the liturgy of the Eucharist, the Mass itself. But then there's the accidents surrounding it. Okay, so there's the accidents of, what music you have, what priest we have, what vestments he's wearing, things like that. So it has to, however, be sacred. If you like the Hillsong United and David Crowder and Toby Mac and I don't know who else is for King and Country, I think is another big one. That's fine. Great artists. I've listened to many of all of these people's songs. I've probably sung them many times. They don't belong in Mass. Now, here's the reason why. They're not sacred. Something at Mass to be sacred, it means it's supposed to be only for Mass. It is holy inherently. The sacred vestals is what we call the ciboria and the chalice that the priest uses, what has the Eucharist in it. It would be weird if you saw Monsignor Hammond go home after daily Mass with his chalice and pour his morning black coffee in there, swirl it around, have some out of there, take the ciboria and pour his, Fruit Loops in it and out of it. You'd be like, Father, what are you doing? That's the chalice. That's the ciboria. What is going on? And likewise, if he came to Mass and took out just a standard, took out just a standard wine glass and a bowl, and then put the hosts in it and the precious blood in this, you would rightly say, Father, what are you doing? This isn't normal. This isn't right. That's not sacred. And whereas if he puts coffee in the chalice and the ciboria, what you would say is, Father, it's not right because it is sacred. Just as if you ran into Father Farnan at Kroger's or the Dollar General, and he's in his vestments, in his alb and his amice and his vestment and stole, you'd be like, Father, what are you doing? You're at Dollar General. Father, this isn't where you wear this. It's wrong. And then if Father Farnan gets to Mass on, Wednesday morning and walks in, cargo shorts and an Ohio University t-shirt and just starts saying Mass, you'd be like, whoa, hey, Father, what? Aren't you forgetting something? You're not wearing the right things. It's because some things are sacred. They're meant for only the Mass. And if they're anywhere else other than the Mass, it's weird. And if they're not at the Mass, it's wrong. It is lacking something. The same is of our music. So just it'd be weird if, what's a popular song nowadays? It'd be weird if I started singing Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter in chant. That would sound wrong. You'd hear that and go, whoa, wait a minute, this is a pop song. Why are you singing that? And likewise, if I started singing Salve Regina to the tune of Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter, you'd be like, whoa, hey, what? That's weird. That song doesn't belong like that. Don't confuse the substance of the things. It's because chant and classic hymnody is unique to worship. It's unique to how we pray. And so Mass, the most sacred time, has to have that there. There is no way it cannot have it there. Because to have something different, have something contemporary and modern, would be cheapening, again, not the substance, but the accents of the Mass. When you go in, you'd be like, oh, this is just like everywhere else. This is just a normal thing. And it's not. It's not a normal thing. It is the Mass. And the beauty of music is that it has an immense capacity to touch our hearts and our souls and move us towards God in a way that nothing else can. And so, if you're singing Reckless Love and Oceans and, similar contemporary music every Sunday, and that's just all you use, well, then the only thing that really changes when you show up to Mass on Sunday is the poncho the priest is wearing. Like, oh, hey, this week he's in a purple one. Interesting. But nothing changes. If you use hymnody and chant, what happens is there are certain things written for certain times of our liturgical calendar. So, take Lent, for example. There's standard sad things. There are dirges. The royal banners forward go. It's slower, it's more sterile. It makes you feel more empty. As you go through Lent, you're hearing songs that are almost dirge-like. So when you pray during Mass, you're like, wow, this is a time of sadness, a time of penance, is a time of heartache for what happened, what we did to our God. It makes it even more joyful and glorious when at the Easter Vigil for the first time in 40 days, we hear the cry go out, Alleluia. And our hearts can surge and we can say, yes, Alleluia. I have felt the pain and the loss of the joy. Then we get the joyful music, the Lamb's High banquet. The strife is o'er, the battle won. You hear these hymns and your heart rejoices. You leap, you say, yes, it is Eastertide. It is the Easter season. We're no longer in Lent and Passiontide or the Triduum. We are now in Easter season. We can enter better into the mystery of our faith, into the time of our liturgical calendar through sacred music. And more so than that, we can elevate the accidents of the Mass, make our hearts yearn for our God in a very unique way. And so when you go to Mass, enter into the prayer. When you pray alone at home in silence, turn on some sacred music, especially if you're having difficulty getting started in prayer, to draw your mind into the contemplative, meditative state in which, in a very unique way that is not found anywhere else, you meet God. You know Him and can converse with Him one-on-one. Delightfully beautiful way. I love you all very much. If you have any other video topics you want me to talk about, please do email me at jmccarthy@knoxcatholic.org. That's jmccarthy@knoxcatholic.org. I love you all so much. Cheers.